been announced that Prince Harry's book is the fastest selling non-fiction book ever. Non-fiction, really? Couldn't make it up, could you? So today what I wanted to explain was exactly how they have arrived at this, well, shall we say, historical fact as ever. Let me explain. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here. Nice to see you. I hope you're all keeping well. Yes, that's the Trumpeteers, of course, who basically are saying that Prince Harry's book, Spare, has become such an international bestseller. But as we told you over here recently, when we went out to film early in the morning, plenty of books available, all at half price and less. And more importantly, no queues at the till. However, Penguin Random House claim, oh no, people are buying it online, for fear of reprisals. What reprisals? It's a book. It's not that exciting, But it's interesting to note, isn't it, how everybody decides to fudge that particular line, And also with publishing, and it's the same with music, there are many tricks you can do to make sure that your book becomes a bestseller. So today I thought I'd share with you the behind the scenes tricks of what many people do to ensure that they hit that top selling spot. Many years ago, I used to work in the music industry, and the big thing was that you had to get certain stores to supply that particular CD, album. If it was a new artist, for instance, what you would do is pair it up with an older artist at the same time. So you would say, well, if you stock this CD, the new one, we'll give you X amount of CDs of the most sellable person for free. They get to keep the full profits. All the while, they get to keep the profits of the new person if they also take off. So it's a win-win for the stores. This is a tactic, and as ever we have to say allegedly, that I know happens in the world of publishing, particularly with the major stores, the major bookstores around the world, the bigger department stores. In many cases they will be given an agreed amount of free copies which they have to display prominently, and making sure that it's pushed at the till, and then they get to keep the entire profit from that. What happens then is this: if the product takes off, whether that be the CD or the book, then they have to start to rebuy it back, normally at a discount price, but once again they get the money, as ever, they're the win. The reason and how, for instance, major books get their money in the end is normally serialization rights, which have now died off, particularly in the newspapers, because they just simply don't have the money. They'll wait their time and then just rip it off the moment it comes out or leaks, as in the case of Prince Harry. And they're still going along with that ridiculous story that they didn't leak it. Ridiculous. Someone in the publishing house did. End of. Stop lying. But now, as you see, once they go through the till and they're scanned, that pushes the book, or indeed the CD, up the charts. And eventually you get into that chart. They don't question that. It's based on sales. So then you can triumph and say New York Times bestseller list, Sunday Times bestseller list. You are, but with very, very dwindling profits. So when people sort of come out with these statements, literally hours after the book has been released, you know instantly, as someone who works in the business, exactly how it truly works. Now, as someone who's published books independently and with publishers, my advice would be to go independent, simply because you know yourself, you can control the sales, you decide the price, and you decide how you're going to market it. With a publisher, whatever deal you get, in the end you end up being the loser, because the publisher has to recoup so much back. So in the case of Prince Harry trumpeting the fact that he's got millions of pounds coming in, he has that advance, but they will be very slim on profits once they present him with the P&L account. That's the profit and loss account, because that will show exactly how many they've had to give away, rephrased differently of course, to make sure he became a bestseller. As ever, anybody out there would like to question that particular narrative, do get in touch. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.